The vast silence of space was broken by a sudden alarm on the bridge of the Starhawk. Captain Alina Morris sat upright, her sharp eyes fixed on the glowing screen in front of her.
Ow.
The crew was tense. They had been exploring a quiet sector of the galaxy when the ship's sensors picked up a strange signal. It was faint at first, just a brief pulse of energy far away in the system. But it was different from the usual cosmic noise or natural signals they often detected. This was a call for help. An SOS. Jake, the ship's linguist, stared at the strange message scrolling across his console. Captain, this isn't just any SOS. It's ancient, but it's still active. It's coming from Deathworld. Deathworld. Elena's voice dropped with surprise. I thought Deathworld was a lost planet, or a dangerous abandoned place. No one set foot there for decades. Raj. The navigator nodded grimly. That's right. Deathworld was called the most hostile planet in this sector. Extreme weather, toxic atmosphere, and deadly creatures. It's been off limits since the last expedition disappeared. Lena looked at the message again. The SOS was broken and incomplete. But the words sent a chill down her spine. The fiercest shall rise. Darkness returns. Help. This can't be ignored, she said firmly. Someone, or something, is still alive there. We have to find out who sent this and why. The crew moved quickly. Starhawk changed course toward Deathworld, the once feared planet looming in their forward scanners like a dark shadow as they approached. The atmosphere grew unstable. Thunderstorms raged across the surface, lightning cutting through thick, swirling clouds. The planet's surface was hidden beneath a veil of dark storms, making landing difficult. Sarah, the ship's engineer, monitored the systems. Captain, the storms are disrupting our sensors. We're having trouble getting a clear reading. Keep trying, Alina ordered. We can't turn back now. The silence in the ship was heavy as the crew prepared for the unknown.
Alina's
mind raced. Was it a trap? Could the SOS be a lure set by enemies? Or was it a genuine call from survivors? Jake decoded more of the message. Beware the fleet. Awakening soon. The fiercest survive. A warning. A threat. The kind of message that raised more questions than answers. Then, unexpectedly, the communication panel beeped again. A new signal flashed on the screen. This time it was stronger, clearer. The voice was robotic but urgent, repeating a phrase. Over and over. The fiercest shall rise. The fiercest shall rise. Elena's heart pounded. The planet wasn't just dangerous. It was waking something ancient and powerful. The Starhawk scanners finally pierced the storms, revealing the planet's surface. A twisted landscape of black rock, jagged mountains, and forests of strange alien trees. The entire world seemed alive, but in a way that was both beautiful and terrifying. Raj frowned at his controls. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy fields beneath the surface. It looks like there's something buried deep, maybe a hidden base or a fleet. Alina exchanged looks with her crew. This was more than a rescue mission now. It was a warning. About a force they could barely understand. Prepare for landing, Alina ordered. We go in cautiously. Stay alert. The Starhawk descended through the heavy atmosphere, shaking violently as the planet's storms battered the ship. Lightning flashed dangerously close, and strange signals scrambled their instruments as they landed on a rocky plateau. The crew stepped out into the eerie silence of Deathworld. The air was thick and humid, filled with scents no one could identify. Strange carvings glowed faintly on the rocks, symbols that looked old, but alive. Sarah examined the symbols closely. These markings, they're not just decoration. They're a language. An ancient warning, maybe. Before anyone could answer, a cold wind swept over the group, carrying a faint whisper. It was almost like a voice from the storm saying, "The darkness returns. The fiercest shall rise." The crew froze. Something was watching them. From the shadows, a figure appeared. Tall and armored, with glowing eyes that pierced the gloom. Deathworlder. Kale, the warrior, spoke with a voice like stone. You should not be here. Deathworld was meant to be forgotten. The fleet is rising again, and you have awoken what should sleep. Lena stepped forward, steady and calm. We heard your SOS. We came to help. Kale's eyes narrowed. Help. To destroy. Few survived the wrath of Deathworlders. The tension tightened like a noose. The crew realized they had crossed into a deadly game, one that could change the fate of the galaxy. Back on the Starhawk, the communication system crackled again. The message was now clear. Prepare for the fiercest. Deathworld calls its warriors. Alina looked at her crew, knowing their mission had just begun. The mysterious SOS was more than a call for help. It was a warning, a summons, and a challenge. The fiercest were waking, and Deathworld's secrets were about to be unleashed. The Starhawk shuddered as it broke through Deathworld's thick, stormy atmosphere. Lightning flashed outside the windows, casting eerie shadows over the jagged landscape below. The crew tightened, their grips on consoles and handrails. The planet was alive with danger and secrets. Captain Alina Morris kept her eyes sharp on the readings. Status report, she called. Sarah, the engineer, frowned. Storms are heavy. Sensors are barely working. We're flying blind in some areas. Raj's voice was tense. There are strange energy spikes coming from beneath the surface. It's like the planet itself is pulsing with power. Lena swallowed her nerves. We have to land. That us. Call means someone or something's in trouble. Or maybe worse, someone wants us to find them. The Starhawk carefully descended to a rocky plain covered in black ash and twisted trees. The ground was cracked, and strange blue lights flickered just beneath the surface. As the ship touched down, an uneasy silence fell over the crew. The roar of the storm outside was muffled as if the planet was holding its breath. Once the landing, gear was locked. Alina led a small team out of the ship. The air was thick and heavy, with a strange metallic taste. Kale, the Deathworlder warrior who had appeared earlier, walked alongside them, his glowing eyes scanning the horizon. You should not trust what lies beneath. The fleet you awakened sleeps no more. Sarah crouched to examine the strange blue crystals scattered on the ground. This energy, it's unlike anything I've seen. It's powerful and dangerous. Suddenly, a soft rumble shook the ground. From the dark forest edges, shadows moved large and fast. The crew readied their weapons as glowing eyes appeared among the trees. We are not alone, Raj whispered. From the darkness, creatures emerged, tall, armored beings with weapons built for war. But these were not hostile. Instead, they stood guard, watching the newcomers carefully. Kale nodded. The Guardians protect the ancient fleet. They test those who come here. We must prove ourselves worthy. Alina met Kale's gaze, then show us the way. We have no time to waste. The Guardians led them to a hidden entrance carved into a mountain. Symbols of battle and warning were etched deep into the stone. Lena felt the weight of history pressing down. Inside, the air was cold and dry. The walls glowed faintly with the same blue light they had seen outside. The tunnels stretched deep into the planet. As they moved forward, Jake spotted a holographic map flickering on the wall. Showed the entire Deathworld system with dozens of ships hidden beneath. The surface, ready to rise. Is this the fleet? Sarah asked, awe and fear mixing in her voice. Kale nodded solemnly. The most ruthless warriors in the galaxy. The Deathworlders. They wait for the call to strike back. Suddenly the hologram shifted. Warning flashed. Intruders detected. Prepare for defense. Alina raised her weapon. We didn't come to fight, but we will if we must. The crew steeled themselves. The mysterious SOS had led them to the heart of Deathworld's darkest secret, and the fiercest battle was just beginning. Deep inside the ancient tunnels of Deathworld, the Starhawk crew moved cautiously. The air was thick with tension and strange energy. The glowing walls pulsed faintly, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Kale, the mysterious Deathworlder, warrior, led the way. The fleet has slept for centuries, waiting for the right moment to rise again, he said quietly. Your arrival has awakened their power. Elena's eyes narrowed. Why send an SOS? Why call us here, Kales? The voice was low and serious. The enemy who destroyed our world still threatens the galaxy. The fleet must be ready to fight. The SOS was a trap to bring new warriors or enemies to this place. Sarah looked around nervously. A trap? Are we enemies or allies? Before anyone could answer, a deep rumble shook the tunnels. The ground vibrated beneath their feet. Lights flickered as ancient doors slowly opened ahead. From the darkness, enormous ships began to rise. Massive war machines, hidden for centuries beneath the planet's surface. The Deathworlder fleet was real. And it was alive. Elena's heart raced. We need to stop this. If this fleet wakes fully, it could destroy entire star systems. Kale stepped forward. The fleet obeys only the fiercest. If you want to survive, you must prove your strength. Suddenly, the ship's comms crackled with urgent warnings. Enemy forces were closing in fast. The Starhawk crew realized their time was running out. Alina made a quick decision. We fight together. If the fleet rises, we control it, or it destroys us all. The ancient machines hummed to life, the walls shaking with power. The battle for Deathworld had begun. The crew of the Starhawk followed Kale deeper into the ancient tunnels. The air grew colder, and the glowing blue light flickered softly along the walls. Every step echoed in the vast underground halls. Filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered, Alina studied the carvings etched into the stone, scenes of battles. Long past, warriors fighting against a terrible enemy, and powerful machines rising from the ground. These were the stories of Deathworld's past, hidden for centuries. Sarah pointed to a large door covered in strange symbols. This must be the energy core Kale told us about. The source of the fleet's power. Kale nodded. The core holds the energy that fuels the Deathworlders. It is unstable. If it falls into the wrong hands, it will bring destruction to the entire galaxy. As they entered the chamber, a low hum filled the room. The energy core pulsed with bright blue light, sending waves of power through the air. Suddenly, a giant, armored figure stepped forward, one of the Deathworlder guardians. Its eyes glowed fiercely as it blocked the path. You must prove your worth, the guardian said in a deep voice. Only those with courage and honor may pass. Elena held her ground. We seek to protect the galaxy from destruction. We want peace, not war. The guardian studied her silently for a long moment, then stepped aside. Your journey is only beginning. Inside the chamber, the crew discovered ancient technology, weapons, and ships ready to be activated, waiting for the command to rise again. But Alina knew the power was dangerous. We must be careful. This technology could save us or destroy us. Kale looked troubled. The enemy that destroyed Deathworld still watches from the shadows. They will come for this power. The crew prepared to defend the core, knowing that the next attack could come at any moment. Outside, the storms raged louder. The fate of the galaxy rested on the edge of a blade. The tension on the Starhawk grew thick, like the storm clouds outside. After discovering Deathworld's secrets, the crew should have been united. But fear and suspicion began to spread like wildfire. Captain Alina noticed strange behavior among the crew. Small mistakes, secret meetings, and whispered conversations made her uneasy. Jake was the first to notice it. Captain, someone is sending unauthorized messages from inside the ship. It's encrypted and fast. I can't trace it yet. Elena's eyes hardened. We can't afford any traitors. We're already fighting an enemy outside. We don't need one within. The crew began watching each other, trust slipping away. Sarah confronted Raj about a missing power module from the ship's engine room. Raj denied everything, but the doubt lingered. Late one night, Alina caught a shadow moving. Near the core control room was Liam, the youngest crew member. His hands shook as he tried to hack into the core system. Liam. What are you doing? Alina demanded. Liam froze. I'm sorry. Just wanted to protect us. Power here could save my homeworld. I didn't mean to betray anyone. Alina sighed. You risk all our lives by stealing this power? We must work together, not tear ourselves apart. But the damage was done. The sabotage had alerted Deathworld's guardians. The alarms blared as the planet's defenses began to activate. We need to fix this now. Sarah shouted, rushing to the engine room. The crew scrambled to repair the damage, all while fighting the rising threat outside. The Deathworlder fleet was waking faster than anyone expected. Alina realized the real battle was not only against the deadly fleet, but against fear and betrayal. Among her own people, the fight for survival had become even more dangerous. The alarms on the Starhawk echoed through the ship as the Deathworlder defenses came alive. The crew worked quickly, repairing systems and preparing for the worst. But Captain Alina knew one ship alone could not face the awakened fleet. She sent a signal, a call for help to every nearby star system. The message was simple and urgent. Deathworld's fleet is rising. We need allies to survive. Minutes felt like hours as they waited. Then, one by one, ships appeared on their scanners, fighters, cruisers, and warships from different species, some old friends, others strangers. The galaxy was listening. The threat was real. Alina addressed the new arrivals through the comms. We face a danger bigger than any of us alone. The Deathworlder's fleet is ruthless. We must stand together or fall divided. But forming an alliance was not easy. Old rivalries and distrust surfaced. Some leaders doubted the SOS was real, a trick or trap. Others worried about sharing Deathworld's dangerous power. Raj spoke quietly to Alina. We must show them the truth, or we won't get their support. So, the Starhawk crew shared what they had learned, the ancient fleet, the energy core, and the deadly warning from Deathworld. Slowly, the alliance began to form. Ships from many races gathered, preparing weapons and defenses. Scientists worked alongside warriors. Racing to understand the strange energy that powered the Deathworlders, Alina stood on the bridge, watching the fleet grow. This is our only chance, she said softly. Together, we might stop what Deathworld has awakened. But shadows moved in the dark. Enemies still watched, waiting for their moment to strike. The stage was set. The fiercest battle in the galaxy was about to begin. The newly formed alliance waited tensely near the edge of Deathworld's system. Ships from different species hovered silently, their crews prepared for the battle that was sure to come. Captain Alina stood on the bridge of the Starhawk, her eyes scanning the dark space ahead. The Deathworlder fleet was massive, thousands of warships hidden beneath the planet's storms. Now rising and ready to strike, suddenly, the silence was broken by a burst of laser fire. The battle had begun. Explosions lit up space as the Deathworlder ships surged forward, their weapons firing with deadly precision. The Alliance returned fire, but the enemy was fierce and relentless. Rod shouted, "They're stronger than we expected. Shields are failing." Elena's voice was steady but urgent. "Hold the line. Focus on their command ships. We need to cut off their control." Da-da-da-da-da. In the chaos, strange creatures from Deathworld's surface appeared on some ships' fierce warriors. With glowing armor and weapons that crackled with energy, the Alliance fought hard. But the Deathworlders seemed to anticipate every move. Jake yelled, "They know our tactics. How is that possible?" Sarah pointed at the screens. "They're connected like a hive mind controlling their fleet." As the battle raged, the Starhawk took heavy damage. Explosions rocked the ship, alarms blaring everywhere. Alina gritted her teeth. "We can't give up. This is what we came for, to protect the galaxy." Just when hope seemed lost, a new signal arrived. Reinforcements from a distant system had answered the call. The tide began to turn, but the fight was far from over. The Deathworlders were ruthless. Their strike back had only just begun. The battle above Deathworld reached a fever pitch. Space around the planet burned with laser fire and explosions. Lighting up the dark void like a violent storm, Captain Alina stood firm on the Starhawk's bridge. Eyes locked on the enemy fleet. Though battered, the Alliance ships fought with fierce determination. Pushing back the ruthless Deathworlders, Kale's voice came through the comms, steady and powerful. "The core's energy is unstable. It overloads, it could destroy the entire system." Elena's mind raced. "We need to shut it down." "Sarah, can you do it?" Sarah nodded, already working with her team to deactivate the energy cord deep beneath the planet. Outside, the fiercest Deathworlder warship, the Oblivion, broke through the Alliance's defenses. Heading straight for the Starhawk, Alina ordered, "Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Target the Oblivion's weak points." The two massive ships clashed in a deadly dance, firing volleys of weapons. Sparks flew as the Starhawk dodged missiles and laser blasts. Suddenly, the planet trembled violently. The core was about to explode. Sarah's voice crackled over the comms. "I'm almost there. Just a few more seconds." With a final surge, the energy core's pulse slowed and then stopped. The planet's shaking eased, but before relief could settle, a dark shadow crossed the stars, a fleet even larger than before. Emerging from the darkness beyond, Alina stared in disbelief. This isn't over." Kale's voice was grim. "The true enemy has arrived." The screen faded to black as an unknown massive force closed in. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and the fiercest warriors were ready to strike back once more.